crying. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the start of the Second World War. And as the world marks this anniversary, Nazis are on the march in Ukraine. The political descendants of Adolf Hitler are on the march in Ukraine, but this time they have the support of the government of the United States, of the White House, of the Pentagon, and the CIA. 6 months ago to this day, these Nazi gangs who are supported by Washington burned down the trade union headquarters in Odessa, murdering dozens of people, burned alive or beaten to death, women and men.
48 people at least were killed. The House of Trade Unions in Odessa was burned. Bodies piled up.
Since then, thousands have died in the Ukraine as these Nazi forces, these fascists who are funded by our tax dollars, have unleashed artillery on the cities of Donetsk and Lugansk, on ordinary working class people who are fighting for freedom.
In Odessa, the city of Odessa, there's a virtual military and fascist occupation happening. It's almost impossible for people to come out and protest anything against the government now. Yet today, on the 6-month anniversary of this tragedy, more than 300 people came out in Odessa defying the fascist occupation. First, the police tried to force them away from the House of Trade Unions, where they wanted to hold a memorial ceremony. But dozens of activists were able to break through the police lines and place flowers and chant at the actual site of the tragedy, at the House of Trade Unions. We should think about what's happening in Ferguson, Missouri right now, where one more of hundreds of young black men have been murdered by the police with impunity, while protesters who come out against it are being brutalized and arrested on a daily basis.
And we stand with the people of Donetsk and Lugansk who are resisting fascism, just like we stand with the people of Ferguson who are resisting police terror.
This is all about the expansion of NATO and continuing U.S. wars. It's meant a disaster for the people of the Ukraine. It means a war that has already resulted in thousands of deaths in Donbass and Lugansk, where there's a resistance to the fascist movement.
We are here to stand with the people in Ukraine and in Donetsk and Lugansk, who now call their land Novorossiya, who are standing up against fascism, who are standing up against the descendants of Hitler. We are here to say no to our government and politicians in the United States who are funding these Nazis. Joe Biden, Vice President Biden's son, has become a director of the gas company in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine and the sanctions against Russia only serve to enrich the oil corporations who are poisoning communities all over this country with fracking. They serve to enrich the military-industrial complex that wants to expand NATO into the former Soviet Union, no matter the risk of another war, another world war even. Here on the 75th anniversary of the start of World War II, we're here to say no to war, no to NATO, no to the Pentagon, no to the CIA. We want money for jobs and not for war. money for schools and health care, not for war.
We have a petition signed here in the U.S. by organizations, trade union activists, and community activists from across the U.S. demanding justice for the people of Ukraine and an end to the expansion of NATO, which is the U.S. military command throughout Europe. This is a dangerous part of the encirclement of Russia, and it means new wars and new threats, not only for the Ukraine, but for the people of the world.
We're going to have a solemn moment to remember the people who died at the House of Trade Unions 6 months ago. Odessa Martyrs, presente!
Presente!
No pasarán!
No pasarán!
Fascism will be defeated in Ukraine!
Fascism will be defeated in Ukraine!
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
Hold it with 2 hands.
Yeah!